So how early should you buy an annuity? How young should you be? How old should you be? Those are really good questions. Hi, I'm Stan The Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. Top agent out here. Yes, I do sell annuities, but only if you need one. If you don't need one, I'll tell you. If they have to be allocated right and in proportion, and we can have those conversations. Go to theannuityman.com to get all my books. I'll send them to you for free. You can schedule a call there, listen to my podcast, all kinds of information. But what we're going to talk about today is a call I get a lot from people that I think are too young to buy an annuity, or they might be really old and not need an annuity. But we're going to talk about age. Is it too early to buy? How do you determine that? Can you time it? All those things that are running in your head, I'm going to pull them out, and we're going to talk about them factually after this. Went to get some water, and I keep looking to the left, so my producer's like, "Some over there that's distracting me." I'm like, "It's my brain." It's like I'm scattered. I mean, no, if you know me, people that know me, they just know that I'm 24/7 going 100 miles an hour. I'm passionate about this. I'm also trying to remember what I need to tell you about the topic. And today's topic is about, is it too early to buy an annuity? I look to my left, I come back. Right, producer? Good question. In my opinion, it's all about life expectancy. Lifetime income is based on your life expectancy at the time you take the payment. Interest rates play a secondary role. So the older you are, the higher the payment. Calls I get all the time are from like 40-year-olds, 35-year-olds ago. I've been pitched this annuity. This is, by the way, this is a phone. For all you youngsters, this is a phone. Phone. All right. Hey, Stan, I've been pitched this annuity. Should I buy it? My first question is, how old are you? And a lot of times they're like, well, I'm 39. My immediate answer is no. I really believe that you're too young at that age to buy an annuity. Now, for the sociopath agents out there, there's a few. There's a lot of good people in my industry, but every industry has those people that would sell anything to anybody. They'll sell it to anybody. In my opinion, if you have 40 years of life expectancy, not sure you need to buy an annuity. If you're young, you need market growth. If you need market growth, you don't need an annuity, in my opinion. I know the variable annuity guys are going, Stan, shut up, variable annuities for tax-deferred growth. I get it. I understand that. My comment about variable annuities, and full disclosure, I do not sell them, not securities license. I only sell fixed annuities. I only sell contractual guarantees. Used to be securities license when I worked for Dean Witter, Payne Weber, Morgan Stanley, and UBS. I've been there, done that. Understand that, and that's the reason I'm only fixed annuities, because annuities are contractual guarantees. But if someone's 40, their projected life expectancy is to 85, 86, that's a long time. You need market growth, and you can't afford for things to go up and down and be volatile because you're young. So I get a lot of those calls. Hey, should I buy one? Probably not. The exception to that, I have some exceptions, and those exceptions are those 40 and 50-year-old entrepreneur maniacs out there that can just make a ton of money, and all they really want to do is not lose money with their investments. I'll give you a good story. Guy calls me from Texas a while back, and he's a good client, and he's like in his early 50s. You know, Stan, I want to buy MYGAs. I'm like, you're 50. Why would you want to buy MYGAs? Why would you want to buy fixed rate annuities? You can do so much better in the markets. He goes, I don't do markets. He goes, I'm an entrepreneur. I make more money with my businesses than I'll ever make with investments. I just don't want to lose any money. I'm like, okay, well then that makes sense. So what, and I said, the bottom line is, you know, you have to defer them, and there's a 59.5 rule, IRS, etc. He got all that, but in his specific situation, after he explained his situation to me, annuities made sense because he didn't need to take risk in the markets. He was a risk taker in his business, and they made sense for him because he just didn't want to lose a penny. I mean, his comment was, if I don't lose a penny with my investments, that's fantastic because I'm going to make a killing with the businesses that I own. That makes total sense. But the ones that bother me are the 40-year-olds that call me and say, you know, I've been pitched this index annuity for market growth. Wrong. Fixed index annuities are CD products, period, introduced in a long time ago, I think it was 1995, for CD type growth. And that's what they do. And I tell that 40-year-old, no, you don't need to do that. You need to buy, you know, real market products. Because in my world, annuities, you buy them for what they will do, not what they might do. And the will do are the contractual guarantees. Now, the variable annuity people are going to yell at me, but variable annuities have limited investment choices inside those variable annuities. We call them mutual funds. They call them separate accounts. They, the industry. So in my opinion, if you want real market growth, you don't need any type of limitations on the choices to get you that market growth. And in most cases, the 40-year-olds don't need lifetime income, because if they need lifetime income now, it's going to be based on their life expectancy at the time they take the payment. If they get 45 years of payments, it's just not going to work, bottom line. Now that's kind of a carte blanche 30,000-foot view, and there are some exceptions. For most people, if you're looking for market growth, never buy an annuity. Remember the two questions: what do you want the money to contractually do, and when do you want those contractual guarantees to happen? Most of the 40-somethings that call me say, I just want a reasonable rate of return, I want a good market return. Then don't buy an annuity. Now it goes on the other end of the spectrum as well. I had a 93-year-old call me the other day looking at annuities. My first question is, you're 93, right? And yep. And the guy was sharp too, man. I don't know what he's taking. He needs to write a book is what he needs to do. And I was like, you don't need an annuity. I mean, could you go live your life? You've already beaten the actuaries. You've already won. You're 93. But this guy wanted to see what an immediate annuity quote would be and blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Because the other thing with a lot of the annuity products, when you turn 80, like from 80 to 85, a lot of them are not available. Now it depends on the carrier, it depends on the type, but your choices start going down when you turn 80. They go way down when you turn 85. They're almost non-existent into your 90s, which they should be. I mean, the sweet spot for people to look at annuities from the standpoint of purchasing, I would say mid-50s and up. And mid-50s is kind of a push as well. You've got to tell me what you're trying to do. If you really got a plan in place for future income down the road, or you want to protect the principal, I get that. But truly in your 40s, I'd rather you get my books, go to my site, get the books, follow what I do, and understand that when you get into your 50s, we can start having those conversations. One final thing about, how old should you be? Is it too early? When is it too early to buy an annuity? When you get me on the phone and we're talking one-on-one, there are times that I have, 72-year-olds or 77-year-olds that after the conversation, I'm like, you don't need an annuity because you don't need to transfer risk. It really all comes down to, do you want to transfer risk? Annuities solve for pretty much 4 things. The acronym that I've come up with is called PIL. P stands for principal protection. I stands for income for life. L stands for legacy, like leaving money to your beneficiaries. And the other L stands for long-term care / confinement care, those type of things. So PILL. If you do not need to contractually solve for one or more of those items, then you do not need an annuity. It's really that simple. So there are times I get people on the phone and I just say, hey, yeah, you're 75, but who you are and you're sharp as a tack and you understand markets and you're good at it, you don't need an annuity. Call me when you're done with that. Call me when you don't want to do that kind of management of your assets anymore. Or call me when you want to start incrementally moving toward transferring risk. I mean, great story, and I've told this one before, is one of my clients is a commodities trader. It's like corn or something, some weird thing. And he's one of the best in the world at that. And he's going to do it until he dies. He says, I'm going to do it till I die. And I'm like, you don't need an annuity. I first met him, he told me, I was like, man, you don't need an annuity. He goes, you're right, but my wife does. Because wife doesn't want to be a corn futures trader or whatever the heck this guy is. And every year he takes some of the profits from his trading, which is immense, and buys a future lifetime income stream or a principal protected product for his spouse, which totally makes sense. That's another thing as well. Again, annuities are customizable and it doesn't fit for everybody's specific situation. So we just need to have that conversation. Go to my site at theannuityman.com and set a time so me and you can talk. All right, I found these signs my producers made for me. Remember PIL? P stands for principal protection. I stands for income for life. L stands for legacy. Other L stands for long-term care. Yes, I stand at the corner of 5th and Main going, PIL, PIL, PIL. No, I don't. Here's the other ones too. I'll throw that down. You own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. Will do, might do, will do, might do, will do, might do, will do. And I think it's on my hat, right, producer? Is that the right side? Okay. So with that, I know we're getting a little crazy here, but when it comes to annuities, there's no perfect age. If you're a youngster, you probably don't need one. If you're transitioning toward retirement, you might need one. If you want to transfer risk, you do need one. But we need to talk. Hit the subscribe button and I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man video.